was baffling, with Meghan Markle, seemingly because she likes to confuse everyone, not with her ever-changing looks and her skin tone, the fact that she's apparently part Nigerian, whichever. It doesn't say that on her CV for a very loose acting CV. But that's Meghan, isn't it? That's the beauty of Meghan, continually changing the narrative to make sure that she keeps herself, in her eyes at least, interesting and believable. Now, recently, as you know, we had a story breaking over here, which we told you about on this channel, regarding letters that Meghan had written to King Charles, and he apparently responded. As yet, we can't get that confirmation from the palace. Interesting to note, though, isn't it? Because Meghan decided to respond to the king after the bombshell, as some people say, interview with the US TV titan Oprah Winfrey regarding the race issue. A race issue, apparently, which Prince Harry said never happened on another interview. You see how loose and fast they play with these particular stories. But what's interesting here is that very quickly this was released to The Telegraph, a broadsheet. Now, broadsheet is a large newspaper, not a tabloid, in case you don't know, because, of course, Harry and Meghan didn't wish to interact with the tabloids. They thought that was beneath them, naturally. But what is interesting, and what I do find slightly amusing, is the fact that, they then decided to release this particular info, some say, to The Telegraph, because Prince Harry had said that actually that was a newspaper that they didn't particularly mind in one of his many interviews. Fascinating to note. Now, what's interesting here also is, with Meghan, her people, she decided to release a missive, and the world stopped. Yes, because apparently she didn't say those letters were not written. What she didn't really conclude was the fact that she didn't interact with simple gossip, and apparently the media circus that we, apparently, the digital platforms, and including the mainstream media, are part of. Now, that phrase in itself is laughable. The media circus is created by Meghan herself, sending out all of these signals, whether she's pushing the 40 times 40, the Dyer book, The Bench, the Netflix series, Prince Harry's book, Prince Harry's endless interviews about his mental health issues. You get the picture. But what was really fascinating to many people over here, I think possibly also around the world, was the fact that Meghan, according to that minion, doesn't hold a grudge. Sure, this will be breaking news to her father, or indeed many members of her family, all of which were removed from attending her very spectacular wedding. Yes, a spectacle is what she called it. And let's not forget, of course, as well, one of her very close relations was uninvited to that wedding and had to reveal that on camera, even though there was plenty of space next to Doria on that very empty pew. But apparently, as I say, Meghan doesn't hold a grudge. This is a very, very damaging sort of aspect, because this could be used in the forthcoming, and I say this allegedly, forthcoming lawsuit case regarding Meghan and her half-sister Samantha. If she doesn't hold a grudge, why has she then not reached out to her father, who's been critically ill, never seen his grandchildren, and hasn't spoken to his daughter in that particular period? However, we are told, though, that Meghan Markle, who has only known King Charles basically for a nanosecond in brief meetings, is very keen to develop an ongoing relationship in the future with the king. Now, I'll leave you to make your own minds up about that. Do you believe Meghan holds grudges, or has she simply moved on for the benefit of her children and her own personal sanity? Whichever way you look at it, once again, a rather confusing missive. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.